welcome to Knitspired. Today is Friday, August 25th, 2017, and it is a beautiful day today. Although it is August, it does feel like September or October. It's getting a little cold. We had like 2 weeks of nice hot weather, and that was it this summer, but everybody's had a weird summer, I think. Anyway, I'm Mikobeeko, your host today, I guess you could call me. And I am an American knitter living in Ontario, Canada. More specifically from the Boston area, and then now I live about an hour from Toronto. And this is my little podcast, so welcome if you've never watched before, and thank you so much for spending some time here with me. I really appreciate it. I think that's pretty cool. And if you are a returning viewer, welcome back. I'm actually doing it within a week or a week later from my last podcast. So yay! And guess what? Today's episode, after 2 years of laboring over this, is episode 10. Yay! I'm so excited. I wish I could make it more exciting. I'm sure if I had been doing 10 consecutive episodes like every 2 weeks or every week, then it would be a lot more exciting and I'd have something more to celebrate, like with a giveaway or something. But it's great. I'm in the double digits now, number 10. I made it. And I'm super excited about that. I'm really stoked to just keep this going. And yeah, so again, thanks for coming. So I'm just going to get right into what I have been doing. I actually wrote some notes down today so that I kind of stay on track and don't take up too much of your time. But I do have some finished stuff that I... since last week, which is great. I've been like avidly knitting, so sorry. So yeah, I'm super excited to show you that. So after last week's episode, I started a new pair of socks, and it's from this yarn I found at Michael's, just because I really liked it because it was sparkly and it was pretty, and it was fingering sock weight yarn. So it's just by Loops and Threads. And it's in a lot of different languages. It's in French. Okay, so it's called Pizzazz, and it's a 72% superwash wool, 24% nylon, and then 4% metallic. So that's the shiny stuff. So, it's okay. It's a little rough, but still, I thought it was really pretty. Because it's so shiny, I don't know if you can tell. But I made the pattern it's a sock pattern, a free pattern on Ravelry called Dumbledore's Christmas Stockings. I had heard somebody else mention it, and I can't remember who. But this is one of the socks. I haven't even started the second one, but this is the first one. And still no sock blockers. It looks awful actually right now. It's all wrinkly and stuff. I don't block my socks out, but so I just did I did it cuff down with a a garter stitch slip stitch heel flap, and just a Kitchener grafted toe, like that. And it's just like this really cool pattern. I do the knit one, purl one, twisted rib. I like the way that stands out. I don't know if you can see it, if it translates well on camera, but the pattern's really cool. There's 2 different charts in it, and you can do one or you can do both, and they're very similar. It's just like almost like a basket weave, but it's like really cool, or like little plus signs. So I wrote it down. I did chart A twice, and then I did chart B twice. No, I did chart A 3 times. And then when I got to the top of the foot, I did chart B twice, and then I did chart A, I think I did once. So I'm really happy with the way it came out, and when I tried it on, it fit like a sock, so to speak. And no, it fits so good. And I actually did it on some circular needles that I had used a long time ago for the first time I ever knit socks, with like 9 years ago, I think. And I think it's just Susan Boy, but I really like them because they were pointy, and they were the join, they're on the cheaper side. Like I think you could get them at Michael's. I think they came with a kit anyway. They were nice and pointy. I believe, I'm gonna go check actually. Sorry. They are 2.75 millimeter. So they're a little bit smaller than normal. So I cast on 64, but that's what the pattern called for. Normally I do 56. So since they're a little bit smaller than the Chiagos, which are 3.25, I believe. Yeah, I did 64 stitches, and this sock fits perfectly. It's so comfortable. Oh my goodness. The only thing I noticed as I'm knitting with this is I think it's been chewed a little bit by a kitten. Sorry, my phone's busy today. Yeah, they're a little chewed, so they're a little rough. So I'll probably invest in some more needles in that size. I'm not sure which kind, but I will. Anyway, so that was I was so proud of myself. That actually knit up really fast. I always find it a lot, it goes a lot quicker when you use a pattern, I feel like, because you're going through the chart repeat, and it just seems to go a lot quicker because you're always like, okay, what's the next row? What's the next row? Because you want to see the pattern coming out. So I think that was really cool. So that went by really fast. And I love those, and I will cast on the next one. I was really afraid that I was going to be kind of bored and not cast on the second sock. But that never happens, strangely, for me. I always want my 2 socks. And I showed you last week that, I've mentioned it before, that I'm doing the Box of Socks knit along, Box of Socks Cal 2017. And that is being hosted by Kristen of Wool and Vine, the Yarngasm podcast. So that's super exciting. I'm taking part in that this year, and I already have, I want to say that's like my 10th pair, but it's not finished. And I have another pair on the needles, which I'll show you in a couple minutes. But that's super exciting. I think it's actually my first knit along that I've partaken in. So that'll be fun for the end of the year. The only thing is that I don't have a box yet to put them all in, and I'm not feeling very creative about making a fancy box, so I have no idea what I'm going to do about that, but that'll come before the end of the year, so I'll enter all that stuff in, and I'll show off all my socks. But I'm not going to show all my socks today because I have a few things I want to talk about, and I've already shown my socks. I'll show them again, like maybe next week or the week after I have a couple more pairs finished. Also, this is my own pattern. I got some yarn, also from Michael's. It's Loops and Threads, and it was on clearance for $3.29, and for Canada, that's super cheap for yarn. And it's just an undyed wool. It's 100% undyed wool, and it's called Brown Twist. So it's got that twisty look to it, and I think it's called Barber Pole. And I was actually thinking about that, and I've noticed lately that I've been really attracted to yarns that are that barber pole look, where they're twisted up on each other. And I really like when they're like vibrant colors or contrasting colors. I think that's just, I don't know, it just speaks to me. I love that stuff. But anyway, I bought the Brown Twist one in just natural colors, and it's my own pattern. It's a 1x1 rib hat, and it's a kind of a slouchy hat. I'm not putting it on today because, as always, I have hair issues. I'm trying not to touch my hair so much. I'm sorry. But this is actually, it's got a tubular cast on. If you're familiar with that, it just gives it a nice finish at the bottom, if you can see that. But trust me, this looks awesome when it's on. And it's for my sister. It's to go along with the hats I showed last week. I made a Bruins hat, and then this really cool lacy, like open looking slouchy hat. You can look back on last week's episode for that. And then this is just another hat for her, just because I know she's been wanting tons of hats. She's asked tons of times for hats, so I'm just going to send her a bunch of hats. She'll be thrilled with that. She likes to wear hats. So this one's cute. It's just super simple. I was actually pretty surprised that I maintained my knit one, rib one with even decreasing. Very proud of myself, if I do say so myself. So that's another finished object. And actually, I'll be honest, that took me a day to make, even with the tubular cast on. You know how that takes a little bit of extra time. Super happy with it. Probably gonna make one for myself. I might make it a little longer so I can roll up the brim and then still have a slouchy hat. But yeah, that is for her. And another thing that I finished this summer that, let me see. Yeah, that I never got to show because I wasn't recording during the summer was, it was a shawl that I made for my mom. Hi, Mom! I know you're watching. My mom, like, she loves coming across my episodes. And she's like, oh, she put a new one out. And she will call me, and she loves watching it. I mean, come on. Anyway, hi, Mom. So I had already sent her the shawl. She knows about it, obviously. And I'm going to insert a picture here. It is kind of my own pattern. It is the Super Eyelet Shawl by Fiona Wright. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. And I started out following that pattern, but then I kind of made it my own because I wanted it. I followed the instructions to make it eyelet, and then I made it more stuck in it. So it's less open and airy, a little bit warmer. But yeah, that was super fun to make, and I actually think it was my first finished shawl. So I was really happy with the way it came out, and it was super pretty. And I used a shawl in a ball. I had heard about that on Christy Glassnitz actually earlier in the summer. Actually, in the spring, I had heard about it. I was watching some of her stuff on her YouTube channel, and I was like, "Ooh, let me try the shawl in a ball." And I knew I wanted to make something for my mom. And I found that one, and I thought those colors would be awesome for her. So she didn't know I was sending it. I never even said look out in the mail for it, and she received it. So that was fun. That was fun to make it for her and think about her while I was making it, because she doesn't live here. She lives in the States, where I used to live. So yeah, I normally don't knit for other people, and my mom's a knitter, so I knew she'd appreciate it. So yeah, that is something I worked on this summer, but I couldn't really show you that actual object. I just showed you the picture. Anyway, and then, oh yeah, okay, so I showed you these socks last week. They're toe up, just a plain stockinette stitch sock. And I started the Fleagle heel, and I got this far with it. It's about halfway up my heel. And it's really cool. I love the yarn, but I'm not really feeling it for some reason. So I figure if I'm not happy with it, I can just take it out, because I think I'm just going to frog it and make some other socks. You know what? Because I made so many plain, you know how I hate the vanilla or the plain sock, because anything hand knit is never plain. But I've made so many stockinette socks, like just the basic sock, that I kind of want to change it up for these last few months of the box of socks knit along. So I came across, I mean, if you're on social media at all and you've looked around, you've probably seen a bunch of Game of Thrones knits. So I saw that, which super excited me. So I was looking through those, and I think I'm going to make some Game of Thrones socks. I think the Melisandre pattern, but the only thing is that the socks that they show in the picture are solid red, which makes sense. Melisandre. Am I even saying that right? Yeah? No? The socks are red. So I don't know how well it's going to translate with the gray background and then like some yellow and like blue stripes in it, but I can try it. If not, I have a few other patterns. I have a list of patterns that I want to do. Yeah, so I think I'm going to frog those and just do a different kind of sock. Anyway, so there's that. Those are things that I'm working on and things that I've finished. I also started last week, and I'm pretty happy that I got this far. And did I did not, okay, I don't know the name of this pattern. I totally forget. But right now it's just a plain garter stitch back and forth but it does have an edging on it that really kind of sets it apart. And I will put the name of the pattern underneath here because I cannot for the life of me remember it right now, and I didn't look it up for some reason. But this is the shawl, and I've been working on this for a week, and of course, I'm in the middle of it. And the cord is too short now. So I really can't show you much, but it's just, like I said, it's a basic garter, and this is the top of it, straight across. This is the top of it, sorry. And then it's going to have a really nice border on it. I can't believe I didn't remember. And I was really hoping to show the whole thing, but it'll probably be done for next week. So it's really fun to work on, and I look forward to wearing this. And yes, I don't know if you saw this. Let's see. I use bread clips. I don't know if anybody else does this. I'm just being resourceful. I use bread clips to wind up my yarn. Yeah, that's me being creative. So it's not just, that yarn is not just hanging there. And it actually surprisingly does not get in the way. This little sweater for my daughter, because I wanted to make a hoodie, a pullover hoodie. And I have like just some leftover stash yarn, gray, and a gray color and a cream color. And this is one of those instances where acrylic has its place. It's a soft acrylic yarn. And because it's for a kid, she's gonna grow right out of it, and she's also gonna get it messy, so it needs to be washable. But it's called, I believe it's called I Love This Sweater, and I forget who it's by again. And I'm just on the ribbing pattern. Actually, I'm using the pattern as a guide, but I'm making it my own. I'm actually doing a twisted rib on the bottom. It's a bottom up, and just the twisted rib because I just really like the way it looks. It looks so nice and clean in this color. And then I'm going to do gray and white stripes, or gray and cream color stripes going up. And it's going to be with a hood. Did I say that? And probably a pocket for her. She'll think that's cool. So that is that. And something super exciting. I just dropped a bunch of stuff. Something super exciting that I started that I can't believe I jumped on the wagon for this. I don't know. I don't really usually do that, but then again I do. I just figured I wouldn't do this pattern. I wasn't going to show it today. I was going to wait. But I decided to show it. But I'm glad that I'm doing it, and I'm super, super duper excited about it. But you know what this is. What is this? I am doing a Find Your Fade by Andrea Mowry. The yarn that I'm using, so I went to the farmer's market last week, I think on Saturday. Yes, Saturday with my daughter. And there's a yarn store called the Knit House there. And I went in there and I talked to the lady. I've talked to her before, super nice. It's a small store though, they don't have a lot of stuff. So I wasn't sure if I was going to get any yarn for the Find Your Fade there. But I did come across this one. And it's called Poems Socks by Wisdom Yarns, and it's a 75-25 superwash wool and nylon. And the color is Pulsar, and I took the band off, so it's this. It's like purples and pinks. It is its own fade. And I love purples and pinks. It's like bright, and it's got all kinds of stuff happening in it. So that is the beginning of it, and I actually just made a 20-gram ball for the fade, to start the fade out. And that's what I'm going to be using for the fade for the first color. The thing about my fade is that I'm kind of approaching it in a different way. I'm not worried about color. It's not something I ever really stress over too much. I'm just going to let it happen as I go along. I don't have a set amount or a set of chosen yarns for it. I'm just going to go. Do it as I go, and I know it's going to look awesome. Nobody will question it. That's just my style. That's just what I do. So I'm excited about that. It's looking pretty good so far. Let's see, that looks like a pretty good translation of it. Right now it is at the thong stage, or else. It looks like something else. You know what I'm talking about. So that's that. And that actually brings me into, let me see, into things, yarn I have acquired. So that was one of the new yarns that I bought there at that Knit House yarn store near me. And then I really liked this color. I bought this there too. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. It's rough. It's not sock yarn. It's kind of like a hand spun look to it. It is Briggs Little Sport Weight yarn. 1 ply, 100% pure wool. So it's really rough, but and the color is violet. Look at that. Imagine that. But, and did I say it's 430 yards? That's quite a bit. It's scratchy, like I said, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to make with it. If you have any suggestions, let me know. I just thought it would be fun to add to my stash. I love the color. It looks more blue from what I'm seeing on screen than purple, than violet, but it is violet, purple. So that is that. And also, I totally forgot about this from last time. I bought this a long time ago at this store that's near us. It's called Lynn's Mill, and it's just basically where junk goes to die. But it also has a lot of fabric and yarn and lots of like crafty stuff there too. So I was looking at the yarn there, like I do, because I always buy Patton's Croy sock yarn there, like or Regia, they have that there too. And I bought this. It's called a sushi wallet. It's that. I'm just covering the price. I don't know why, but that's what it is. It's just like the kit with, it's a felting kit, which I've never done before. And it says to knit or crochet. So I'm not sure if it has instructions in it on how to make it. It must. Oh yeah, it has everything. It's got everything in it. Look at me. And it's in a little kit that looks like sushi. I didn't even realize that. So the picture of it is, that's what it's going to look like, I guess. Can you see that? I thought that was really cool. And so you make it, and it even has the zipper, and you felt it, and it must show you how to do it, but it's all, everything you need is right in there. So I thought that was really cool. Kits are fun. Everybody loves a kit, and it's in a sushi box. Isn't that cute? That's really cute. So I wanted to show you that. I thought that was a fun little project. At some point I'll make it. And then lately, another thing that I never thought I would be interested in is I have this huge new obsession with none other than Stephen West. I don't know why. I've been looking at his patterns and like literally, or not literally, but drooling over his patterns. Like, I don't know why I didn't, not that I didn't like them before, I just didn't care. I was kind of indifferent, I guess. And now I'm like, I have to make something that's Stephen West. I'm really interested in the exploration station, and then maybe, well, not maybe, but definitely for the next mystery knit along, I will definitely do that. So I'm super excited about that. It just gives me something to look forward to, which actually reminds me, doing this podcast between last week and this week, I worked so hard, which was really fun to do. But on making a lot of stuff, it really inspired me to, and motivated me to just get a lot of stuff out there so I would have items to show you. And I think that was really cool to do that. And it also gave me a lot of different things to work on, so I wouldn't get too bored. Hang on one second. So, I just shook the camera. Sorry about that. Really thirsty. I'm sorry. I should just cut that out, but whatever. And just to stay on track, I know there are a couple things I wanted to mention. Okay, so yeah, tomorrow I'm going with a couple of knitting friends to the Spinrite Factory tent sale, and that is in Listowel, which is about an hour from here, not even that far, but we're going to be driving up there, and they have this big tent sale twice a year, I think, and we're going to be going to that tomorrow, and so I'm super excited about that. I'm going to be getting lots of yarns. I'm actually looking, normally I love knitting with sock yarn. I love bright colors and sock yarn, and like I love the speckles. I'm actually looking toward like the cream colors with the speckles right now. That's kind of my new favorite thing. But I love the bright colors. But I'm thinking I'm gonna buy a bunch of like bulky yarns to do some quick knit projects for people. I am gonna be getting some yarn to make a hoodie for my husband too. So it's a super bulky yarn that the pattern calls for, and hopefully I'll have that started and I can show you next week. And so I have never been to this tent sale, so I'm super excited about that. And excuse me, I plan on buying a lot of yarn. And oh my goodness. Okay, so last week, I was so excited. Last week, after I recorded my podcast, I decided to go buy some yarn online. And I decided to buy from Logo Did It, and I was looking at her stuff. She had just put an update up. I follow her on Instagram, and I bought some yarn, and guess what? It's the first time besides buying yarn on Amazon that I bought yarn online, and it's like nice yarn. I just got it today, so I wanted to open it up on the podcast to show you my new yarn, because I have no idea what it's actually like. I mean, I know she has awesome yarn. Sorry about the noise. You can see my reaction. Oh my goodness. It's like receiving a gift, but I bought it for myself. You have no idea how excited I am. Okay. So this is from Lolo Did It. Wow. My first like real yarn from somebody. That doesn't even make sense. It's this color. It's in the plush sock, which is 75, 15, and 10% superwash merino wool, nylon, and then the 10% tencel. 430 yards. In the Polyjuice Potion, another Harry Potter thing. I'm like, once again obsessed with Harry Potter, and I'm feeling like once September or October comes around, I'm going to be watching all the Harry Potter movies again, because I love Harry Potter. But I realized I made the Dumbledore's Christmas Stockings sock pattern, and I made the Hermione's Everyday Socks, and then I bought this Polyjuice Potion, all this Harry Potter stuff. Look at the yarn. Look at it. Come on. I cannot even deal with it. I'm so excited. This is my first time. So I put a little note in the order notes, and she wrote like a little, she printed out my thing, because I wrote something in the order notes, and so cute. She writes her own little note back to me. Oh, that's awesome. So Lolo Did It. Thank you so much. Not that she's watching. I'm just super excited. This has like every amazing thing in it. Like, it's got pink and cream and purple and black and like Dago green or yellow. I don't know. And navy blue, violet. Oh, so much fun. Oh my goodness. I can't even stand it. So that's my first like indie dyer, small business yarn purchase. So I think I'm going to do that every once in a while, because doing that, buying one skein, because obviously I'll make socks with that, or a shawl or something. I can mix and match. I'll do that every once in a while and buy from these awesome dyers that are online. That's what I'm going to do. And then, yeah, so that's fun. That's exciting. So, so like I said, not that that's aside, but yay, that happened. I guess just like about my life a little bit. I did say I was probably going to I'm definitely going to be doing a Harry Potter marathon, because I just love that stuff. I know it's like silly and it's kids stuff, but it's fun, and I don't know. I just love those movies. I'm not like super obsessed with them or anything, but I like them. So I'm going to be watching those soon. And I've been watching Call the Midwife. That was surprisingly such a good show to me. It had been recommended to me, so I started watching it, and I didn't expect it to be so good, but it was so good, and I like binge watched everything. And I'm guessing they're coming out with another season in the fall or winter, so I'm super excited about that. And what else have I been watching? You know, Game of Thrones. Yeah, I'm not caught up on that though. But just your usual suspects. Wentworth, I started watching. That is such a good show. Oh my, I can't believe I haven't watched that before. I don't recommend it though. It's pretty harsh, but it's funny, I love Australian accents and British accents, but I didn't think I would like it in the show, and now I don't even think anything about it because I'm just used to hearing them with their little Australian accent. It's super cute. Anyway, so those shows, and then like a lot of podcasts. I've been binge watching Legacy Knits. I can't believe I never watched them before. They're hilarious, but I'm still like near the beginning, like a year ago. So I just never really had time for podcasts, and now I've been catching up here and there and checking out new ones. So I've been watching them and Hey Sister, and I'm caught up with Hey Sister because they just came out with a new one last week. And other shows, I haven't really been watching anything else. Because I'll just be obsessed over one show and watch all of it all the way through, unless it's a show that I'm already caught up on, like Game of Thrones, obviously. And I just watch it as they come out. Plus, that's one that I can watch with my husband. Game of Thrones. Yeah. Anything else? I don't think there's anything else, but I'm super excited for the tent sale tomorrow, and I will definitely show you my haul for the next podcast. And there was something I was going to say. Oh yeah, I'll try to get some footage of our time at the tent sale tomorrow, because the ladies that I'm going with are really fun. Other knitters, they're always fun. The girl that's organizing it, she's a friend of mine, and I always have so much fun with her whenever we get together to knit. So yeah, thank you so much for watching and spending a few minutes with me here, and I really appreciate it. If you want to send me a message or anything, feel free to. I love hearing from people. You can email me on Ravelry. Okay, so you can find me on Instagram as Kamiko MC Knitspired _ between the words. That's Instagram. Ravelry, you can find me as Mikobeeko. And there is a Ravelry group for this podcast, and it's the Knitspired podcast. Sorry, ginger ale is getting to me. The Knitspired podcast, and you can send me a message through Ravelry, either my Ravelry or the Knitspired podcast, or even on Instagram. I love getting messages, and also below. You can leave messages below if you want, and yeah. Feel free to talk to me, ask me a question, give me an answer. Yeah, anyway, have a great day, have a great weekend, and I will see you soon.